Wells here from Toning Home Fitness, checking in with you for the second time on this Whirlwind Wednesday. Of course, this morning I checked in with you and about this morning's workouts, my workout, your fitness and nutrition needs. Also gave you some tips, pointers, some suggestions, and food for thought, along with the top 3 things that people will be flocking into as of January 1st, 2021. But for this second conversation today, our evening conversation on this Whirlwind Wednesday is about 3 things. Not the same 3 things from this morning, but 3 things. It was 1 thing, but it turned into 3 because my mind started cranking. And I got excited. I hope you get excited about this too, but I'm a nerd, so this might not be exciting to you, but it is to me, and it's exciting for me to share it with you. And what I would like to share with you are 3 things. I have those 3 things sitting right here next to me, and I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But first, before I begin with my show and tell, my share of things to bring you into 2022 better prepared to live a more fit, abundant, healthy life. And I'm talking about physically, mentally, and emotionally. The entire you, your whole self. No more throwing your entire self in the trash can. And what I mean by that is by you eating poorly and not working out or sabotaging your success by doing things that you know you should not do, but you do because you begin to lose hope and give up. And you may not have the support system that you feel you need, or maybe it's there, but you don't feel it and you don't see it. So I'm going to give you some things to help you push past that. Okay? So that's what I want to bring to your attention. So what I'm going to share some things to help you push past that, do better, feel better, grow better, okay, move better, and just be you. Be fit, be happy, be free, be energized, be excited about yourself, excited about life, the things you have awaiting for you or things that you've experienced, and try not to worry about the things that have saddened you or made you angry. All those things need to be in the past and left in the past, and you don't turn around and go back to ever looking at those things, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to share with you is a way for you, if you're not already doing this or you were doing it, have been doing it, but you kind of slacked off or forgot about it altogether, or using the excuse of I have no time. So that's another thing we're going to get rid of, okay, is the phrase, I don't have no time, because you know, I know, and everybody on the planet knows, you make time for the things that you make important to you, that you feel are important to you. So there's a lot of things, a lot of time for you to be working out, a lot of time for you to be planning your meals if you let go of the things that do not serve you, that are not important, that can wait. And some of it is just stopping addicting habits, such as being on social media too much. Like you go on for one thing. It's like going in Target, isn't it? You go on for one thing. You have one freaking job and you blow it every time. So even I do, even when I go on to do these videos or make a business post or to quickly check something, that's my intent. I'm intent about it. I'm mindful about it. I go in, I'm doing this one thing, I'm getting off. Guess what the hell happens? Yeah, I start perusing. So I know it's happening to you. It's happening to me. So again, we have to be mindful. We have to do things with intent, which is tell ourselves you're going to check one thing and you're getting your ass off the social media. Period. No exceptions. Point blank dot. Check it. Saw it. Gotta go. Bye. And the one thing that will help, turn the notifications off. There is nothing important on Facebook that you need to be notified about at all, ever. Turn the notifications off. Why do you need a notification telling you when somebody replies to something you posted? Okay. Why do you need a notification telling you every time someone comments on a post that you put up or comments on a post in a group that you belong to? It's just a waste of time. It's like the TV. It's a dummy box. It's a dummy device. Let it go. I use it for business purposes. I have a business page, business Instagram page, a business Facebook page. But when the business Facebook page first came about, you had to have a personal account first before you can have a business account. And then they required you to have so many people like your business page before they will fully open it up. So that was some years ago. I don't know what the changes are now, and you guys know that those of you who know my personal account on Facebook see me post nothing but motivational messages. Morning cup of hot decaf tea every morning is what I put up, the name of those posts. Afternoon conversations and dinner cocktails and conversation. Okay, I put those up and I get right off. People think I'm still on there and I'm not. I don't even have the notification on to let people know when I'm on there. So I post, get off, post, get off. I'm on there a hot couple seconds, get off. It's later in the evening when I start, or afternoon when I start getting more distracted. But I just want to throw that out there. Just turn the notifications off. Put your phone in a separate room. Your phone does not need to be in the same room. Unless you're using your phone for work, you have to have your cell phone because your boss may need to get a hold of you or a client may need to get a hold of you, those type of things, then that's fine. But if you're like a stay-at-home mom, what do you need your phone around you for? Unless you're out and about and you need your phone because, you might have your kids at home and they always call and text for no freaking reason whatsoever. I know, I'm a mom. I have an adult son and from time to time, I'm like, what? Or responds to a text I sent him like 3 days ago and he's just responding. What was the point? So I am a parent, I'm a mom, I understand. So all I'm saying is there are times during the day, times in your life when you need to disconnect, put the phone in another room, turn the phone off. I get pissed when people call me after a certain time at night. So you know what I started doing? I turn my phone off and I leave it in a different room than where I'm at. There's no need for you to be calling me after a certain time. It's not important. We can talk the next day. And the same with the text messages. People say, oh, they might be let me text, as if a text message doesn't wake anybody up just like a phone call does. So I just turn my phone off. And then you have those people who like to text you or call you. Just because you're up at 4 a.m. doesn't mean I am. And if I was, I wouldn't be talking to you because I would be going through my ritual or my routines to prepare me for today, to run my business and do what I need to do. Not talking on the phone or returning your text messages. So just some simple tips to think about, just some things to think about as far as disconnecting from social media, disconnecting from the world so that you can get your mind right, you can get your spirit right, you can get your body right. You have time for yourself so you can lessen your stress, lessen being overwhelmed, and just putting up with people's drama and nonsense that you actually really don't have to put up with. So the 3 things I'm about to go over with you will help you get that out of your life as well. At least as much as possible. Getting it out of your life altogether, it's life. Things happen, but at least we need to learn how to disconnect ourselves from things and people that do not serve us, that do not support us, that are just trying to hold us back, hold us down, and not doing anything to help us rise up and grow and excel and to transition into our transformation so that we can leap and soar into 2022 and beyond, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the 3 things that I want to share with you to show you how I try to keep my life in order. But I laugh because, it's a struggle, especially with everything going on right now. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But here's the first thing. I have a fitness journal. I'm sure you might have seen these online or in Target or Target, the famous French store. That store where you only have one job. You go in to spend $10 and you leave out with $200 worth of items. We got to do something about that. It's just Target and Home Depot. That's what it is for me. I do this. But anyway, I digress. This right here, fitness journal. Okay, it's called Fitspiration, and they sell these in Target. You can also find them online, but it's less expensive in Target. I will say these are getting harder and harder to find because of all the shipment things, since COVID hit, shipment things. So when I find them in Target, I buy 2 to 3 at a time. It's pricey, but guess what? These suckers go on for a few months. So me buying 3, it can last me almost a half a year. And I do journal every time I work out on these, so that's dang near every day. At least recently, since I've been on my 2-week vacation from where my educators had and just been a full-time coach and trainer. So fitness journal, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be this one. It can be any type of journal you want to use. I suggest getting a journal or some kind of notebook to write down your workouts, because putting it in your phone, you know, having your phone in your hand, it distracts you. It causes you to lose focus. You have too many apps on your phone, too many other things going on. The phone rings while you're trying to input it. You start talking on the phone at a time when you're supposed to be focusing on yourself and recording your workouts, your gratitude exercises and all those things. So put the phone away. Don't even do it on the computer, because the same nonsense happens. You start checking emails, you start checking your Google phone messages, you start doing a bunch of stuff that you shouldn't be doing. So just get a journal or just get a notebook and a pen or pencil. And for me, that means also whiteout, because I write, you mess up. And just write it down. Get used to feeling what a pen feels like again, what an actual book feels like, what actual pages feel like, okay? So let's open this up. Oh, and these Fitspiration exercise journals, they have different sayings on them, and they come in different colors. The ones I like, they didn't have. I took the last 2 of these a couple months ago that were in Target because I knew they weren't going to have anymore, and they didn't. 3 different Targets, and they don't. So I'm glad I have this, and I have another empty one waiting for me to fill it. But they have, this one says stronger every day. I've also have a black one. I forgot what the saying is on that, but I've had the color black. I got this blue one. I think I had another color, but like I said, they have different quotes on the front, different pictures on the front. Some don't have a picture and they just have the quote, but I like them because they have this. So on the inside, you can put your information. So if you leave it laying around and you need it returned, so you can have, you know, has your name, address. I don't put my address in here, but I have my first name only, my business number, my business email, and my business Instagram. So when people contact me, if I leave it somewhere, I never take it anywhere. I just write in it at home after I work out. But just in case that time comes and I get absent-minded or somebody's take something, then I have the information in here that's already public for them to reach me at, so I know I can get my freaking journal. So, okay. But in any event, each page in here, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to scoot up closer and show you the inside. So each page, each section of the book is 2 pages, and 2 pages is for 1 day. So, and this one is starting way back when in the beginning. When was this? Oh, I started this journal in October. So I always write the day of the week at the top because I don't want to just know the date. I want to know the day. It doesn't come with a spot to write the day in there. So I just wrote like on the top above the date Sunday, then wrote in the date October 10th, 21. And then it starts off with today I am grateful for. So it starts you off with writing down 3 things you're grateful for that day. In that section, you can wait till the end of the day to write in it. Or if you're like me and work out in the morning, I always put in what I'm grateful for that morning, which you should, because gratitude exercises are better thought out and better carried out if you do it in the morning, because usually that's when we're at our sharpest, at our freshest, and we can think about the things that happened the evening before, the day before, or even that morning that led us into knowing what we're grateful for that day and why. And so it's not like a writer's block thing, okay? So it has 3 sections, or excuse me, not 3 sections, but 3 lines for you to write in that section where it says, today I am grateful for. On this particular day, I wrote, I am grateful for beautiful rainy weather, waking up, ability to function. So it sounds like that day I was probably in some pain, or the day before from my injuries, and was glad I was able to get up out the bed and go do what I love doing. And I have number 2, waking up. So when I write that, that lets me know I was pretty much stressed and just glad to be grateful to be waking up the next day for another start, the opportunity to have another start. And underneath that, it says, my goal to live fit today is. So in that section, my goal to live fit today is you write down what your actual goal is. So that section, I put my goal to live fit today is longer run, stretch, hydrate, take supplements. So those are my reminders. So when I write, I'm writing here after my workout. So that means that particular morning I did do a longer run. I stretched afterwards, etc. But the intention was for the rest of the day to continue to hydrate and remember to continue taking my supplements. Okay, underneath that, one thing I appreciate about my strong body today is, and I have strong enough to stand after the run. So that's what one thing I appreciate about my body on October 10th, 21. And then the whole journal is constructed like that. Underneath it, there's a box for you to write in your workout, like it says, move. I'll get it closer to that. So at the bottom there, it says move. That's where you write in how long you worked out, what you did to work out. The box next to that says nourish. That's when you just jot down the things you ate today. Usually in that section, I just write down what I had for breakfast, and my in the energy level, the fueling from the food gave me to get through the day. It's just a line at the bottom with numbers, 0 to 10. You kind of circle, mark, like where your energy level is for the day. And then there's a reflection box. It says reflect today's mood. And you have a smiley face, a meh face, and a disappointed or unhappy face. And you can circle one of those and jot a note down. What I like at the end of the page, there's a fit tip in this journal, a fit tip every single page, okay? And the fit tip on this day was excellent breakfast. So I guess it was having breakfast with eggs, or having eggs for breakfast, not breakfast with eggs, because that means that you sat with an egg and ate with an egg. That's not what I meant. So, but you get what I meant. So it says, egg eaters lost 65% more weight than bagel noshers. With all 9 essential amino acids, protein-packed eggs build muscle and burn fat. And yes, higher levels of protein help you burn more fat. And just remember, we don't say lose weight, we say get rid of weight, because when we lose something, we have intentions on finding it or hoping to find it. I don't think you're looking to get your weight back after it's gone. So we're going to say get rid of weight. But in any event, on the other side, it has all these lines over here for you to journal out your thoughts, your feelings, anything you experienced during your exercises, any pains, any successes, hitting goals, those type of things. Just you're journaling, just like you do in a regular journal. So you're writing down how your morning went or your afternoon, your day went in journal as pertaining to your fitness and nutrition, okay? And you never know, some other things may come out while you're writing that are unexpected, and that is a good thing, not a bad thing, because sometimes exercise, well, not sometimes, all the time, because psychiatrists and psychologists and other medical doctors in the field are prescribing exercise to a lot of their patients. Those doctors who are staying updated and current in their field of work and in their niche. And I try to find doctors that aren't prescription pushers, because I'm not trying to help you pay the pharmaceutical companies, and I don't need all that in my system. So I prefer to eat healthy and exercise as much as possible and monitor myself, and then guide myself and judge from there, and make sure I inform my doctor what it is I'm doing. And then underneath there's a box that says, this inspires me. You can write down things that are inspire you for the day or that morning or whatever. And you can also put pictures there. You can cut out pictures. If you see an article or something with a picture that inspires you, you can paste it right here in this box, or just write out what inspires you, however you want to do it. But like I said, this is the first thing I wanted to share with you. I know that was a little long, but I wanted to make sure I share with you what the inside of this looks like. So if this was something you were thinking about using, that you would know what was on the inside of it before purchasing it online or in the store. And remember, it's called a Fitspiration Journal. Okay, it's about living life fit, and it comes in different colors, has different pictures, sometimes no pictures at all, but it always does have a quote on the front. Okay, always has something inspirational because it is called Fitspiration, a play on words. So just to let you know, and there's a gazillion pages in here. So they even have extra pages in the back. So when all the sections run out, like I showed you in here, and the further back you go, it has a section where there's nothing but blank pages with lines. So you can continue to write in the back on the pages, on additional pages provided if you so choose. Okay, so that's number one. Why did I share this with you? Because it's always good to journal, people. It helps relieve stress. It helps relieve anxiety and worry and grief and depression. It helps you log your workouts as far as how you feel while you're working out. You can write down why you feel that way when you're working out. You can write down, have you noticed any progress, any positive changes? Have you noticed you're failing somewhere? You can log that. You can, so that way you know what needs to be fixed and where on your body it needs to be fixed and how it made you feel. Was it pain or was it just soreness from getting in a really good workout? You can gauge your body by just simply writing down your workouts in the journal. What you're doing it, when you're doing it, why you're doing it. Is it for a specific health need? Is it just to stay healthy overall? Is there a goal such as getting rid of weight, building lean muscle, training for an athletic competition, or just wanting to get out there and live life again and be able to vacation and do things you haven't been able to do for a while or at all? Get out there and keep up with your grandkids, be around to see your children complete high school, to complete college, to see eventually grandchildren. That type of thing, if that's what you're waiting for. Me, no. I'm too young to be a grandma. No. Marquise, no. That's my son's name. I'm telling him no. Just in case he's watching this. I'm too young. Not yet. Give me a moment. But anyway, that's what this is for. And again, you don't have to necessarily buy this. You can find any type of journal that you feel is more convenient, comfortable for you, that fits your needs. Doesn't matter. You can get it. Freaking college rule notebook, I don't care, but just log down your nutrition and your fitness in your journal. Okay, so that's number one. Moving it over there. Oh, this is getting good and good and good. Okay, now we know that fitness and nutrition is what we do here at Tone at Home Fitness. That's what we're always promoting: motivation, inspiration, uplifting, helping each other's out, supporting, being each other's accountability partner through all our fitness and nutrition programs, where there's one-on-one personal training, group fitness, Build a Better You fitness and nutrition program, where you're in a group doing nutrition and fitness and life coaching and going through Coach Wells's kitchen. That's telling my recipe book, getting recipes, trying them out. Everything you do in that group, this is what we promote, which is healthy lifestyles. Okay? No cookie cutter programs, no cookie cutter workouts. Because if you don't have fitness in your life and you're not eating healthy, your entire body's going to fall apart, not just your outside, but your insides, and your brain function is going to decrease as well. So we want to make sure you're eating right, you're exercising at least 3 days a week for 30 minutes a day, and that is the basic, okay? 3 days a week, at least 30 minutes a day to get started. You might start off with only 2 days a week. It just depends on your fitness level. But wherever you need to start, okay? Because if you're not physically fit, there's no way you're going to be mentally fit. You're just going to be off kilter and off balance. And if you don't believe me, then maybe when you start working out or go back to working out, you will be able to tell the difference between how your brain processes, how your cognition is, your retention, how your body moves in general, the increase in your energy level, not feeling like you're always tired and lethargic or feeling nauseous or empty and starving. When you start doing the things you should be doing in order to be here on this planet longer, to be able to better fight off diseases and illnesses and viruses, because it's not going away, okay? The healthier you are, the better chance you have of just being fit and free and energized and moving better through life, just functioning better in general, okay? So, and it help you get rid of gray hair. See all this gray? See all this gray? I didn't have none of gray hair, at least not right here, until all the stress came. So, trust me, take care of yourself. Now, which leads me to this next thing, this next book I would like to share with you. This is the first book in a long time, because I used to read a book a week. That's how much of a book nerd I was. But I read this book when I got back from Jamaica, about a day or two after I got back. I opened this up. I read all the way up to chapter 9, and then I stopped and put it down for a couple weeks because I was actually reading 2 books at the same time. So I started off just reading this, and I said, oh shoot, I need to also finish my other book, okay? And I know you guys have seen me post them. Women Rocking Business, written by Sage Levine, and then also The Total Money Makeover, written by Dave Ramsey. A lot of you already know who this is and heard of him. If you're keeping up with your finances and your fiscal responsibility and you're wanting to get out of debt, then you've been following this guy, listening to his podcast, watching him on YouTube, reading his books. I'm just now finding out about him like I'm this year's old, finding out a few months ago, because of the pages I follow on Instagram, which are life coaching pages, business, finance, other fitness professionals, and other nutrition coaches and things like that. Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Les Mills, all of those guys, Les Brown and whatnot. And then when you follow those gurus, you also find other gurus, okay? So the second thing is this, The Total Money Makeover. I've read this book in less than a month. I finished it last night. It's 13 chapters, very easy read. Look at the pages. Look at the pages. Who can't read through that? Okay? And I would have been finished before last night, but again, like I said, I read this book up to chapter 9, put it down for a week or so, opened up the second book I wanted to pick back up on as well. That book I took to Jamaica with me, read a couple of chapters, came back, put it down so I can start this because I was really excited about reading this. Like I said, I got to chapter 9 on this, picked up the other book, read that every night for a couple weeks, put that down when I got to a certain chapter, and picked this book back up and knocked out the last few chapters in about 3 nights, okay? And a lot of this stuff in here I already knew and already did, and that's why I am where I am today. Other stuff I had no clue about that I wish somebody would have taught me in high school, because this is something high school kids should be reading, quite honest with you. This is something an elementary school student can pick up on better than an adult in most cases from what I'm reading in this book. But it's a good book to have. Why? Because it actually helps you get out of debt. Like I said, there are some stages that I was already past when I opened this, as far as knowing how to pay off debt. Been there, done that, increased credit score, paid off debts completely, got my credit score up to 850, and on and on and on. Other things in here I've already done is having an emergency account. It tells you what to start your emergency account off with. Get your emergency account set up. Once your emergency account is set up, to start paying off your debts in like a snowball type of thing, starting with the smallest debt first. So for example, if you have a debt of $200, pay the $200 off to pay that debt off completely. Then go to the next debt, which may be $1,000, and pay that off. And once that's paid off, go to the next higher debt. And he called it the snowball effect. But that doesn't mean stop paying your other debts. All that means is pay the minimum required balance every month on the debts that are extremely high that you can't start paying off now because you started with a debt that was less expensive. So you pay more on the debt that's the lowest while still paying the required minimum amount on all the other debts until it's paid off. And then once you pay off that first debt, the example I gave was $200 debt. Once you pay off that first debt, then you take that money that you were paying that debt off with and you use it to pay off the next one, and so on and so on. It also teaches you about college funds and things like that, and not the ones like New York Life and stuff bring to your attention, but I took notes. And I also joined Clubhouse, which I was never going to do, but there was a group or forum that I wanted to listen to that a friend of mine was being interviewed on, and I thought it would be good for me to listen to so I could learn some stuff, and I did. Things I didn't know. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, and this is a fitness, fitness and nutrition page, Tone and Home Fitness, that's what we do, because if you're not financially fit, you're not going to be too worried about being physically fit, because your mental is going to be foobar because you're stressed out about money. Trust me. And then you're saying, I want to work out. I want to get a personal trainer. I want to take group fitness classes. I want to get a nutrition coach. I want to do both. I'm trying to do all these things, but I just don't have the money. Because when you have the money, you make up the excuse about, I don't have the time. Now you're in a position where you're going, I just don't have the money. It's not that the money's not there for you to apply to be doing things to help you become fit, to help you become mentally and physically healthy. It's not that you don't have the money, it's where you're putting your money, okay? So that's something we need to, where we have to get out of poor people thinking and hanging around broke people, because that's where you're gonna stay stuck if you don't start doing things to transition yourself out of there. And so when you have money on your mind, it keeps you from being what? Physically fit and eating correctly, because a lot of people emotionally eat when they're stressed out, okay? And know it, but sometimes can't control it because they're not catching it. You have too many worries. So get financially fit so you can get mentally fit and physically fit and start eating healthy and working out, okay? Make it a daily routine, putting it on your calendar, just like you put your medical appointments on your calendar, just like you put your business meetings on your calendar, just like you have on your calendar when you have to pick your kids up from school or daycare or take them to their athletic events and you got all their games mapped out. And I feel for y'all, they got more than one kid. I only ever had one. That was it. I was done. I don't know how many more road trips for football, basketball, and I'm sorry. Yeah, had nightmares. But anyway, I didn't know about college funds. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't know there were different kinds of trust. And the person said trust. I thought there was only one trust. So there's some things I learned from this book. There's some things I learned from other venues. But this is the second thing I wanted to share with you. And it was a good read. It's a fast read. There's nothing difficult in here. Everybody can do what's in here. The only difficult part is whether or not you're willing to make the sacrifices in order to set up your emergency fund so that you can start paying off your debt and start paying off your debt. And are you willing to do some things you may not want to do in order to get that debt paid off? And I'm not talking about anything illegal. For some people, it's working extra hours if they're allowed to work extra hours. For some people, it might be getting a second job to pay off the debt faster. It's about doing whatever it takes in order for you to get it done, so that you will be set for your retirement. And that's basically what it leads up to. And up to the point where the only debt you ever have left is paying off your house. And wouldn't it be wonderful to pay off your house that they told you was going to take 30 years to pay off, or 20 or 15, whatever it is to pay off, but you do it 5 years earlier or 10 years earlier because you worked your ass off and paid off every debt, including your car and your student loans. And the only thing left was the house. That's what this book talks about. It's no quick money fixes. It doesn't talk about stocks. It doesn't tell you where to invest your money, other than how to set up some extra money that you can apply to things in life that you may need for later, such as saving up to set up a college fund, to have money to put into it. And it's just telling you what types of mutual funds that are best for longevity, and that's about it. But if you're looking for get rich quick, this book is not it, because that's not what it does. It actually educates you. All right, so that's number 2. That took a long time, but I had to share that with you. Now, last but not least, 3. Remember, we talked about goals for the last 2 weeks. Setting our goals, setting SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And my old self actually remembered that, what the acronym was. Whew. Anyway, SMART goals. But your goals, whether you know the acronym or not, or remember it or not, you should always know to have goals that are specific, that are attainable, that are measurable, that are realistic, and that are timely. So, and we've talked about all that just in a different way. I even did a Sunday Reflections this past Sunday that I hope you watch, teaching you about how to do your goals. Now, we're not going back in regurgitating that, but what I am going to show you is something that I use. I have this journal for a very long time. Yes, I have different journals. I have the one that's for my fitness, nutrition, daily log, and journaling for my workouts each day of the week. I also have a journal that's for business only, where I might watch a webinar or listen to a life coaching webinar or whatever it may be, and take notes in it and write down what I'm learning, and write down sayings that are really catchy that I like, and going back and sharing them with you guys on, for example, my morning cup of hot decaf tea or my afternoon conversations posts. I don't put those on IG. They're on my personal Facebook page, but it's nothing that goes into detail. It's just a post. Motivation and inspiration throughout the day for others. Okay? But in any event, got this from Target, the French store as well, I think, or this one I might have got from Office Depot or something. I don't know. I had it for a few years. But what I use it for is this. I use it to write down my goals. Okay? And I got a lot of Post-its in here. I've been using it for a lot of things. So, and this started in 2018, okay, where I have a list of goals I wrote out for 2018, and the other side are the list of goals that I completed in 2018. Okay, so that's when I was first starting out doing this, and you see the highlights in there because it says 2018 goals revised. I don't have my glasses on. I'm blind. So I have 2018 goals completed, that's in orange, and 2018 goals revised, it looks like that's what it says, over to the right. And anything on there that's highlighted, that was what needed to be done, it is done and checked off. And I do that every year. It's either just before New Year's Eve or right on New Year's Eve. And the older I get, the less I go out. So it's been done on New Year's Eve. With the exception of this coming in year, this was something I plan on sitting down doing this New Year's Eve, but I'm ahead of the game, because after reading The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, listening to his podcast, listening to some stuff, the investment group presentation I listened to on Clubhouse, changing my focus, reading my business books that I had, just catching up on my reading and keeping the TV off. I think I watched TV twice, maybe in the last 2 weeks. That's how intent I am. I do things with intent. That's what I've been doing. So, but in any event, the last thing I want to share with you was goals, 2022 goals. So like I said, on Sunday Reflections, I did the video on how to do your goals. I was talking about get out a journal, pen, pencil, no tablets, no cell phones, put the technology away, stay focused on the task at hand so you can be prepared for your future. You can set things up for yourself, get it written down, because if you keep it in here, it'll never happen. What you put here, what you have in here, needs to be written here on some paper, okay, to make it happen. So what I did is I sat down last night, actually, and at the top of this page, I have 2022 goals. All right, I have 14 goals listed here. Now, does it mean I'm gonna do all 14 in 1 year? No, but these are the goals I set out for myself, and I already have timelines attached to some of them, because when I do this, I'm serious. And I've completed some goals for 2021 that are marked off upstairs on my dry erase board and in this book, because on the page before it says 2021 goals, going for gold. That's what I wrote down last year, New Year's Eve, laid in bed, glass of wine. Yes, I have. You guys know I like my wine. Had a glass of wine, probably was drinking cab. I don't know. Wilson Creek's cab. But 2021 goals, going for gold. And I actually have on here 31. Out of the 31, I took a highlighter and I highlighted what was most important. From there, I took out the dry erase board. And from those that were highlighted, I wrote down what was top priority on that dry erase board. And it's upstairs, and I think I had about 10 on there, and I marked off about half of those. And don't worry, like I said on Sunday, don't worry if you don't complete all the goals that you set out to do in a year. You probably gave yourself too many, or life happened and screwed up, and you didn't know how to exactly readjust or plan just in case life happened. But that's okay. So what you do is you just move on to the next year, people. We're coming into 2022. So at the top, I have goals, 2022 goals. And attached to that, it says realistic. And attached to realistic are deadlines. Then under that, I have attainable. And attached to attainable, prioritize. And all I did was write that here at the top where I put 2022 goals. Okay? And you can write your journal any way you want to, however you want to write it down. You could do an infographic, you could do a circle graph, a timeline, whatever. Just write the things, damn goals on the paper. So you do them. So what I did on here on these 14 goals, again, highlighted, and they're color coded. So the red is priority. So anything with the red dot next to it is prioritized. So that comes in a hierarchy. And then anything in the bluish green or aqua color, it says complete by. I know if it's this bluish aqua color and it says complete by, I know I gave it a freaking deadline. And the deadlines are highlighted right here. But anything with the red dot, that's prioritized. So I make that first. I got a lot of bookmarkers in here too falling out. So I will share one goal I didn't do for 2021 that I'm damn sure going to do in 2022 and make that one of the first things I do. And that's why there's a red dot by it. It says will and living trust. Should have done this years ago and never done it. Especially need to do it now because I'm in a whole different tax bracket now. And it's a wonderful thing and it's a curse. It's a curse because damn IRS. But outside of that, it's just being blessed and a wonderful thing and going up in the tax bracket, because all that means is you're doing better for yourself and you put things in place in order to make that happen. And you were successful at making it happen. So that's where it's a blessing. And it's a curse. Damn IRS. So you got to pay taxes. We all hate paying taxes, but it's what we're supposed to do. Okay. So will and living trust. I'm setting that up. Second on my list is read 1 to 2 books per month. And that's for personal, and read books on personal growth, investing, and business. So you see where I'm going here? I did not, and the one thing I didn't do was give myself a deadline for setting up a will and living trust. And so I'm gonna go back and do that when we get off of here, because if I don't give myself a deadline, it's just on there like, whenever. It needs to be done now, especially I'm older. A lot of things are happening to my body, degeneratively and otherwise. From the car accident, I have no control over that. It's just happening. And other things are just getting older. And other things, shit happens. Tomorrow's not promised. You never know what's going to go on in your life. And I want to make sure my son is taken care of, and that nothing goes to this government, state or otherwise, and no thieving family or anybody else comes in trying to take anything I leave for him. So I'm going to have a will and living trust, period. So, and in reading this book, Total Money Makeover, it lets you know what type of trust you should look into, to where you can still have access to your finances. Because once you set up a trust, you got to get permission every time you need to go into it, look at it, use it. And that's good for people who are not looking at their money every day, aren't using that money every day, and it's just sitting there waiting for them to croak so their family gets it. I'm a busy woman, so I need to have a certain trust set up so I can check my own funds, see where they're at, and monitor it, and not fully give anybody control over my assets. Okay, so read 1 to 2 books a month, personal growth, investing, business. Number 3, attend networking events, at least 3 for this year. Okay, pay off debt. And I already started paying off the debt that I have now as of December. And I wrote the date I started, December 12th, 21. I wrote down the debt that I'm starting to pay off, and I wrote it in order that I'm going to do it. And I don't mind sharing that with you. So my goal, one of my goals for 2022, number 4, is to pay off debt. And I have the IRS. I hate them. Got a new tax person too, because I shouldn't owe them anything. But another story for another day. Pay off my credit card. It's not even that high. I only use it for business, but it still needs to be paid down. And then pay off my car. So you see what I'm going? I'm going with smallest debts to the next debt, to the highest, to the next highest, to the next highest, until I get everything paid off and I don't have anything left to pay off but my home. And then once you pay off your debts, people, you can start investing, okay? You should have investments now that are long-term, like things you're not going to touch over the next 5 to 10 years. It's a no-touch investment, but you can't put money into investing until you pay off your debt. Got to have the money to invest, right? Okay, so join Hera Hub. Hey, Alicia, I'm coming, girlie, I'm coming. And I have another select items on here. Some of the items I have with a deadline is for me to create my Build a Better You program. I already started creating it, but I try to be too perfect. I just need to let it go and release it and get it out there. But I gave myself a deadline for the creation of it and releasing it and getting it out there. I gave myself a deadline to complete a couple of my courses that I fell off of and completely forgot about them. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I gave myself a deadline to finish a course, etc., etc. So that's pretty much how you write out your goals. You write down all the goals you can think of that you want to accomplish for the year. And then from there, from that list, you highlight what's most important to you from there. And then you take those goals that you've highlighted and you make it into a separate list. I didn't do all that here because I'm at the point now where I already know how and understand how to write my goals and how it works for me and what I want to do. And this is by no means done. I can guarantee you that New Year's Eve, I will probably be in here adding more goals and giving them deadlines and prioritizing in color like I have here. But then I will take that and rewrite them down again. Not all of them, because this first list are all the goals I'm setting out that I need to do for the year. And then from there, I'm going to be highlighting what's most important. I'm going to take what's most important, the highlighted that's most important, and rewrite it on this page. Not just keep it highlighted there, but rewrite it here because I got to make the list shorter. Remember, SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay? And they have to be what I value. Always make your goals things that that you value. Don't write anything down just to say I wrote goals. Write down things that are most important to you, that are valuable to you, that have meaning to you, that help you know what your why is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to work full-time from home, be an entrepreneur, what are your goals to get there? That should be your priority. Versus, I even have travel on here, but I've already planned a year in advance and already have a travel account from 2-3 years ago set up. And so I know I already have enough money in there to travel to the one destination I want to return to. I went to the grill with Reggae Runners. I loved it. I'm going back in December of 2022. I've already started saving. I already have money saved up to start my payments because we start paying for that in March of 2022. Not only that, a friend of mine is taking off and going somewhere for Memorial Day weekend and put it out there. Does anybody want to go? That's 2 trips for 2022. I'm saving for it. Why? I already have an emergency fund set up. I'm already paying off debt. The travel account has been there. It's just a matter of putting money into it every month and knowing where to put it. High yield interest savings account. Stop putting money in your regular bank account where it gains no interest. Only money that should be in a brick and mortar is the money you need your paycheck dropped into, and enough money in there to pay all your bills, your mortgage or your rent, your HOA or your renter's insurance, gas bill, electric bill, water bill. You know what I'm saying? HOA, if you have an HOA, stuff like that. Gas, food, money for food to buy, gas for your car, medical insurance, stuff like that. That's the only money that belongs there. Money you're saving for things, put it in a high yield interest account, one of the online accounts. I use Marcus and Schwab because they had the highest interest rate, but there were other things that attracted me. And guess what? There's no fees, but just a little side note. But in any event, just do that. So I have my list, I'm highlighting, I'm giving deadlines, I'm prioritizing, I'm taking what the things I prioritize and writing them down again on another page. Then I'm going to highlight what is most important to me, what is highly valuable to me, things that are a must do from the high priority, and I'm going to highlight that. Then I'm going to take those that I've highlighted and write those out and that'll be the third time writing them out. But the third time I write them out will only be what is of high value, high importance, and a must be done. Like I told you guys, I gave myself a deadline from permanently working from home, full time, being my own boss, traveling the world, working from my laptop, providing services and support to those who need me, who want my help, who need my help, that come to me. I want to be a better coach. I want to be a better trainer, and I want to do it being happy. So in growing and learning and launching myself into my transition for my transformation into 2022. Okay. I don't talk about it. I'm also being about it. All right. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm putting it on a piece of paper with a deadline. And so the last thing with that before I let you go is, if you have too many things written down, they're not going to be attainable for the year. So just like I said, be realistic, give everything a deadline. If you don't put a deadline to it, it's never going to get done. The other advice I would give when it comes to making goals, not resolutions, which I should have said in the beginning, make goals, not resolutions. Resolutions are temporary. They don't even last a couple weeks sometimes. So make sure you have your goals. So that's why I said every New Year's Eve, I sit down with my glass of wine and my pen and my journal, and I start writing out my goals. It just so happens I started earlier this year in 2021, which is last night, writing my goals for 2022. I want to be better prepared. I want to be a better person, a better coach. I want to have better things in life, live a better life, a healthier life. And I know you do too. So that's why I wanted to share this with you. Was one, logging your fitness and your nutrition, your feelings, your thoughts, how you feel, all that goes in here. Not just how you feel while you're working out, but how you feel while you're eating. Because that way you can track, are there any emotional ties to your eating? Are you binge eating or are you emotional eating? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings while you're eating? Who are you with? Are you out somewhere at a restaurant or a fast food place? Are you at home? Or are you at work and you packed your lunch or you bought something? Write that down. You don't just write down what you ate for the day and how much you ate and the time of day you ate, but you also write down whether you were eating alone or with someone else, where you were at when you ate, your thoughts and feelings, because that will help you construct what are the triggers for how you eat, okay? And a lot of us do have triggers, and they're not there all the time for most people. Sometimes they just come about on the holidays when people get more lonely and get depressed because of financial reasons or family reasons or what have you. It happens, and it happens every year. And then there's other times of the year when people aren't doing well. It's not just the holidays when people aren't doing well. It's every day of every month, you know, throughout life. We have billions of people on the planet. So journal, journal, journal. Also, be financially fit as well and fiscally responsible, because the things you've done in the past got you in a shitty situation now from poor decision making or not taking the time to think out things clearly, being taken advantage of. You know, shit happens. But be more aware of your surroundings and who you hang around with. And like I said, to break the cycle of being poor and broke and always in debt and complaining about you don't have money to do something or you don't have time to get an extra job or time to do this or that. Stop saying I can't. Start saying I can, I will, I must, I do. Get it done. And one thing that Dave Ramsey repeats over and over in his book is, live like no one. I'm not going to get it exactly right, but it's live like no one now so you can live like no one else later. So it's live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. Okay? I know what that means, but do you know what it means? And I want you to figure it out because I'm not an enabler. The educator hat just came on. Sorry, gotta take it back off. Coach hat. So, and then also, lastly, your goals. Okay, write them down, pen or pencil, get a highlighter, some paper, a journal, a notebook, something. Write it down. When you're done with breaking down your list, if you need a repeat of this, just fast forward to where we're just talking about the goals and what to do, or go back to Sunday's reflection from December 27th, Sunday the 26th, the day after Christmas, for Sunday reflections on @SportySpiceWells on my IG. And it breaks down 7 to 8 steps. I can't remember if it's 7 or 8, but 7 to 8 steps on how to write out your goals. And I scaffolded, educator hat back on. So I scaffolded into about 7 or 8 steps with thorough explanation. And I even tell you to get a pen and some paper to take notes on your goal setting, okay? A lot of other people are doing vision boards with their goal setting and all that, which is fine and dandy. You guys know I'm more straightforward, to the point, tell it like it is, get it done, okay? Because the longer we take to do something, that means it's just not gonna get done because we're procrastinating and taking too long to do it. I have to kick myself in the ass multiple times, okay? Especially when you got a lot going on in life and a lot of it might be out of your control. Only thing I can tell you about that is stop worrying about the things you don't have control over and only focus on the things that you can control, the problems you can resolve and solve, things that you can work out and sitting down and talking to someone, or changing the way you do things or how you say things, or just changing your environment altogether. Whatever it takes for you to live life happy, be drama free as much as possible. Give yourself a less stressful life. Stress is healthy, but the stress where you're always overwhelmed and breaking down, crying, and in the doctor and your body's falling apart, that's not healthy. Okay, so that's why I wanted to share these 3 things with you this evening in order for you to be able to become healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because one thing at Total Home Fitness, we don't do cookie cutter anything. We don't bullshit you. I don't bullshit you. I'm highly transparent and honest. I'm straightforward and to the point. I'm not a sugary, huggy berry person. Anyone in your school counselor, how are you not? Well, I'm not, because that doesn't prepare people for the real world. It actually provides you with a disservice rather than a support and accountability system that holds you responsible for your own actions and what you do and what you say and whether or not you carry it out. That's what needs to happen. And that's what I hope I brought to you this evening. This is one of the longest presentations, first presentation. Everything else is usually just a short motivational talk, conversation, dialogue, where we get together and fellowship with, when you engage in the comments by commenting on what you listened to in the video and how it made you feel or what you thought of, or how you're going to help be an accountability partner to someone. I did something different this evening, which is bring to you an hour-long presentation on the 3 things to do to help you launch into 2022 and beyond, and be prepared to become a bigger, better, stronger, more powerful person and living the best abundant life that you can possibly live. Abundance has an individual meaning for everyone. If an abundant life for you is traveling more, that's your abundance. If it's paying off your debt, that's your abundance. If it's being able to spend more time with your children or your spouse, that's your abundance. Whatever living an abundant life means for you, grab onto it, hold it, embrace it, and don't let anyone or anything stand in between it or take it from you. It's all about mindset, being intentional with what it is you set out to do. And if you don't know your why, you will by the time you go through these 3 steps. Okay? With that, I'm going to let you go for the evening, and thank you for allowing me to come into your virtual space. Thank you and if you listen to this to the very end, I thank you for doing so. I appreciate it. I am motivated and supported and being held accountable by you on all levels. You're not just a face. You're not just a virtual space. You're not just another number or another tick mark on the chalkboard or a check mark on someone's piece of paper. You are a human being. You are someone who deserves to get attention, to be supported, to be loved, to know that you have someone on your side, which is me. I'm here to support you. As I always ask, let me know how I can help you, because it is about you and your needs and what you need from me to help you be able to get into that fabulous, fit, fantastic, healthy, nutritional life. And what I mean by nutritional life, I mean by eating healthy foods, knowing how to prepare your meals, not being left out there to guess how you're supposed to be doing something, not just throwing you a meal plan and say, here, eat this. That's not what I do. We're in this together. We always will be. I want to help you build a better you, not just starting today, but today in 2021, starting now into 2022 and beyond. So again, let me know how I can help you build a better you in 2022. And as always, if you haven't already, it's never too late to get out there and do what you're supposed to, when you're supposed to, how you're supposed to, staying fit, dedicated, committed, strong, following up, following through, being free, being fit, being you, and not letting anyone or anything stand in your way. No exceptions, no excuses. Get out there and get it done. And until next time, y'all, deuces.